Hello and welcome to Classically Weird. Today we are exploring the weird world of Benny Loves You. My name is Headmaster Howard and I'm your host for today's episode. And joining me as always is my lovely wife and partner in this adventure, Miss Ragana Ray.
Hello, my love. Hello, fellow weird. And today we're being joined by Mr. Bunny in honor of Benny Loves You. Bunny is my childhood stuffy and love that I still have to this day.
And to never throw him away if you learned
Never
anything
throw
from this
him
movie.
away. That's exactly. So I am honoring Mr. Bunny by being part of the show today.
So, Benny Loves You is a 2019 film that is brought to us by director Carl Holt.
Now, this is a UK flick.
Correct. So this is a very, very heavy UK flick. You can see the UK horror throughout all of it, so on and so forth. I mentioned that the director was Carl Holt. Fun fact, he's also the main star.
Stop.
He plays Jack.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So a little bit of fun about Carl Holt. He wrote, directed, did all of the editing, did all of the sound design, and starred in the movie.
Okay, kudos. Kudos, because as we are exploring this endeavor and figuring out all the recording and writing and going about it, mad respect.
Right?
That's pretty cool. Good job.
Now, Carl also did this on a shoestring budget. Shoestring budget. Well, kind of the story behind it, he said this during an interview. He hit his 40s, and he had made a couple small films before that, nothing crazy or big or anything. And the realization hit him that no one was going to show up at his door, hand him a big bag of money, and say, go make a movie.
Fair.
So he literally did it all himself. Bought a camera, set up his editing rig, did everything.
Now, is the house his house? Or...
Yes.
Okay, because I did make a note that you're thinking through cinematography, and I'm only laughing because I like the house. I thought that the house
It's a
was
nice
neat.
house.
I like the front windows. I thought it was a very nice house. It was the biggest thing that I wrote down about that. So very cool.
Yeah.
As we do this from our own living room.
Right? But yeah, so that to me gave a real level of respect for this.
This just went up a level for me.
Right? There's that certain level of appreciation of seeing somebody just take that initiative and do all of it himself. Because he's right. No one's just going to hand it to you. You have to go out and do it. So, mad props to Carl.
Yes. And how did this movie come to us?
This movie was recommended to us by a friend of mine from work named Jason.
Oh, well, thank you,
Yeah.
Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you for this new knowledge. This is actually very inspiring after having watched Benny Loves You and now hearing that. That's quite inspiring.
Right. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
Now, because of all of that, because of the fact that Carl did all of the legwork on this himself, I say all, he did have some help. Obviously, there were other people involved, so on and so forth. But this film took, 4 years to edit? He filmed it in 2015, and it came out in 2019.
When you're doing all your own edits and
All of it.
everything, then yeah, you know that from experience.
I really do. So I respect the hustle of the independent filmmaker
love
there.
that.
Yeah.
That's the fun part of these fun facts when you get to share them with me and afterwards. That's a really cool one.
Yeah. Now, estimated budget for this film was about £100,000. That's it.
Okay, what's 100,000 pounds?
So it's roughly 134,000 US dollars.
Okay.
That's not much.
Not much.
And considering that you'd have to bring in actors and get the lighting and get the camera and all that stuff, that budget does not go far. So really, for what he had, he did great.
He did great.
Right?
This was labeled when we looked at it as turning into a cult classic.
Yes.
And I can see why, finding out that background information and then what it what he produced for this. That's absolutely great. This was listed as a comedy, horror, ominous, and campy. I would definitely say campy is in there. It is definitely a little campy flick.
It's definitely campy. Now, part of the inspiration behind this film
Mm.
was actually from a short film that he had shot 10 years before that, more than 10 years before this came out, where a Tickle Me Elmo came to life and was stuck just saying what was in his voice box. Now, Carl designed Benny from the ground up to kind of have that nod to that original project, but
Mhm.
at the same time be unique enough
Mhm.
to where he wouldn't get popped for copyright or
All of
anything
the
like
other
that.
things in
All
it.
of
Yeah.
that stuff that we are also trying to avoid ourselves, anything that would infringe upon us being able to produce this effectively,
So the homage to the other character.
of course.
Yes.
All right, so now let's start diving into the plot of Benny Loves You. So the plot of this movie is kind of interesting. You have essentially Jack, the main character of the film, grows up with overbearing parents who kind of control every aspect of his life, really don't ever give him a chance to kind of grow up and start doing things for himself, etc. They
Failure to
die,
launch.
failure to launch, right? They die unexpectedly. And then you're seeing Jack as he's trying to catch his feet as an adult. So he starts trying to shed away some of those childhood things. And unfortunately, one of those things is Benny.
Mhm.
And then Benny comes to life and really has some attachment issues.
Big time.
Benny has some
Very
real
jealous little creature.
jealous little thing,
Yes.
right? But we see as Jack is trying to steady his life, struggling at work, then we see this journey of Jack has inspiration. It starts doing better at work, starts kind of
Meets
rebuilding his life.
meets a female. There's a
Meets
potential,
Yeah.
but Benny just can't let go, and Benny has to.
Just get right in the way,
All in the way.
right? Benny loves you too much.
Too much. There was definitely a nod in the I picked up on the that it felt like a Toy Story, but in the horror aspect, with all like the bad dolls that are doing all the naughty things.
It's like Toy Story
With
meets Chucky.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. I did write down at one point Ted, the movie Ted,
Mm.
but gone jealous and becomes a sociopath, serial killer. There is
Ted turned psychopath.
Ted turned psychopath. There is a over unaliving of a dog, which just cringes me through this movie. I don't do well with the animal unalivings. We've discussed that before. And then this movie had an excessive amount of it that was cringe level for me. Like it was overdone and I was getting very, very uncomfortable. I needed a hold bunny for it.
That you did. You did. I will admit I got uncomfortable with that as well. There was definitely an excess of that. There was a cat, and then there was the pug.
Ah,
And just yeah, I wasn't necessarily a big fan of that element
no,
of it.
no. Others may have found it quite comical, but for me, it was just too much.
I found it comical when it very obviously was a stuffed animal that was
It's
put in
very
for the
obvious
pug.
that
Like I found that element
yes,
comical.
they did put that campiness to it. It's
Right.
just I'm overly sensitive.
We are animal lovers.
Yes.
Yes, we are. Now, so something interesting for being a plush animal portrayed in this, Benny actually racks up an impressive rap sheet by the end of it. I mean, we're talking mass murder, we're talking kidnapping, we're talking animal cruelty.
Yep.
He racks up an impressive rap sheet.
I mean, even Chucky would be impressed.
Right? And you even get some of these like classic slasher films and stuff like that where they don't rack up that big of a rap sheet.
As much as
So
Benny did.
so props to
Yeah.
Benny,
Benny,
right?
all with it. Benny loves
Right?
you.
The cutesy little like just this is what he's stuck
But
saying.
he was also very, it was hard to get mad at him
It kind of
because when you
was.
would go to punish him for unaliving somebody, like Disney, they just turned it into a cutesy little character. Like, how is it that we all fell in love with the flying carpet in Aladdin because somehow it just had more character to it, even though the facial expressions weren't fully there. Benny has that super cute, I'm so sorry, I love you, but also has a knife behind his back.
It's like they anthropomorphized him so much that it was hard to
To be mad at.
villainize him.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
And what Benny does to the other dolls, too. There will be only one.
What's this, Highlander? There can be only one.
There is some different humor into this as well. Like,
There
you're not
is a
really
definite.
used to UK British humor.
Well, some of us are.
Well, some of us are, but I'm just saying for people that don't generally watch UK British humor or British horror stuff that's campy like this. I mean, even what's his name? I think Sean was it
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. I love Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg, thank you. See, I think even Simon Pegg would sit down and watch Benny Loves You and get a good little laugh out of it.
Yeah, I could see
could see
some
that.
of the similarities in the horror, like the comedy aspect of the
Yeah.
horror.
Yep.
I could definitely see that. Because like you have the cops that show up to the house and they're trying to help Jack with with the mass unaliving of his other stuffed animals, and they're just cracking jokes the whole time while they're there. They're raiding his house of biscuits and tea.
And shaming him for the wrong biscuits because these are just the cheap ones or whatever.
Right.
Like, come on.
So there are definitely those British dry humor moments through the plot,
Yes.
which I found endearing. I like that style of humor. All right, so now let's move into this movie from a cinematic standpoint. Now, this movie is not groundbreaking by any means with the cinematography of the film. There's nothing crazy or outlandish. There's no insane camera movement things or anything like that. However, knowing that Carl did all of this mostly himself, the key crew of this movie was him, his mom, and his best friend.
Oh my goodness.
They were out there setting up lights and holding the cameras and doing all that stuff. So that was interesting. Just knowing that he did all of that with that limited of a staff. Also, everybody involved with the film also did double duty. Actors that were portrayed were helping to set things up. So there was a
lot of teamwork in this.
There was a lot of teamwork
to produce this.
And everybody kind of coming together to help Carl bring his vision to life, I think is a great testament to how being an artist is a struggle. And there are a lot of ways that a lot of us can help each other when we're trying to have an artistic endeavor, when we have a vision in mind. And just that extra set of hands, that extra help can go so far. Because he did this pretty much himself, and it ended up in movie theaters. Like, it ended up airing in the US and the UK.
Yeah.
And it was just, it's a testament to what just that level of effort,
your passion.
that passion
Chasing
can
your
do.
passion.
Even with a small budget, it doesn't have to be a financial gain for everybody involved to make something that's cool.
And now it lives on forever.
It really does.
And kudos to having the supportive mom.
Right.
Kudos to having that mom's out there, helping you set up lightings and acting and doing all of that stuff, and the people that came together. So kudos. Yeah, that has completely stepped this film up for me
into a different realm.
into a different realm.
Yeah. Now, Carl did say that his favorite aspect of this was writing and editing. The filming of it was actually quite daunting, even with all of that help.
Mm-hmm.
He said when it's the middle of the night and you're dragging lights out into the middle of a field, you're kind of questioning your life choices. But when you're back at home doing all the writing and editing, you're kind of like, okay. Kind of settle in.
It makes sense.
It does. It does. And I get it.
Yes. Yes.
Here's a little bit of a fun fact for you around Benny Loves You. The voice of Benny, that ta-da,
is Carl.
He recorded his voice and put it through a voice modulator to kind of up pitch it and do all that kind of stuff. So I thought it was, again, just hats off to you, dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Very nice. Very nice.
From what I hear, he's actually thinking about doing a Benny Loves You 2, where I think one's in the early stages of production right now.
Good for him. Good for him. That's awesome.
So, another fun fact for you. The movements of Benny throughout the house was actually done by Carl in the aftermath when he was doing all the editing. That's completely CGI. And he did it intentionally, making it look as though a child was playing with it and kind of bouncing
it around. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So do we want to go ahead and jump into our ratings of this movie?
Let's go.
All right. So from a cinematic standpoint, 1 to 5.
Oh my goodness. This is tough. I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 3. Great house. I said that's one of the notes that I wrote down, thinking about through cinematic. There's a moon shot in there that happens, and I'm one that's in love with the moon, so any good shots of the moon will always peek out in my mind. But a 3, because I definitely know that there's more that can be done, and maybe on Benny Loves You too, there might be more that we will see, because now there's an additional budget for it. But I'm gonna stick with a 3 at this time.
Okay. I would agree with you. I would actually put this at a 3 as well. They're really, like you said, he did really well with what he had. He did very well with what he had. But again, this movie doesn't do anything that's like groundbreaking or, pushing the limits of anything really. So it did its job. All right. So now let's talk from a fright factor or fear factor of this movie. 1 to 5.
As I sit here with my own, being nice to my fright factor, it was campy. It's a 1. It wasn't really scary. It was. Should I ever say, will dolls ever really come to life? As I shouldn't say, Holly. Fright factor, I'm gonna give a 1.
Okay.
It didn't really scare me. I laughed more through it. It was gory and silly, so not really scary.
I would say I would probably give this a 2.
Okay.
Because there is that element of, maybe.
I mean, it was teetering as I sit here and hold my bunny.
Right. Maybe it could happen. So it did kind of have a little bit of an element of, okay, let's be nice to all of our stuffed animals and all that.
Dollies.
Right?
Yeah.
But really, again, was there anything terrifying about this? No. There really wasn't. I would agree with you. It's probably more funny than anything. Okay. Now, is this a movie that we would recommend to people? Yes, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, especially around inspiring somebody to say, hey, check out this film that somebody wrote it, filmed it, edited it, and put it all together, and it's their passion project. And it's something funny that you can pretty much show to anybody that's even not like a horror person. Like, it's a horror funny. So it's not going to scare somebody, but it's kind of
dark comedy
in a way. Yeah, and I do love me a good dark comedy. So Yeah, that's what I would put that in. So sharing it with somebody else, definitely.
I would agree with you. For the same reasons, I would recommend this to somebody, especially like an aspiring filmmaker, somebody who is coming up in their career and kind of beating themselves up, maybe going, you know
I
what,
don't
I'll
know if
never
my
get
idea
this
is
off the
really that good.
ground. Right.
Maybe I don't know. Other people are just have done things. No, take some of your wacky ideas, get it out there, and see what happens. If nothing more, you accomplished it. You hit the record button, you edited it, and you put it out there.
Exactly. All right. So, everybody, that is our assessment of the movie Benny Loves You. If you agree with our assessment of this movie, or if you learned something along the way, go ahead, drop it in the comments below. Let us know what you think. And if you have any recommendations for any other movies for us to check out, go ahead, leave them down there as well. Again, thank you, Jason, for recommending this movie to us. It was actually a fun journey.
Mhm.
It really was. But until next time,
Stay
stay weird.
weird.
Hey there, and thanks for sticking around to the end to help us launch our wonderfully weird little corner of YouTube. Now, we're dropping 5 videos today to kick things off with a proper ritual. Celebration. And we plan on being back every 2 weeks with fresh horrors, twisted tales, and our own brand of dark love for the horror genre. Now, we're just a two weirdo team here. Everything you see is conjured up by just the two of us. Recording, editing, research, you name it, we do it all. So every like, comment, and subscribe really goes a long way to help keep the weirdness flowing.
So if you've enjoyed this and want to help us grow into your favorite spooky stop on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and hit that bell like it owes you money, darling. Thanks again for supporting our channel launch. We're just getting started, and it means the underworld to us that you're here.
And
Until
until
next
next time,
time, stay
stay weird.
weird.